So, did you know that teaching unit studies is a pretty popular form of curriculum because it allows children to learn content at a much deeper level that allows them to really resonate with whatever they are learning. Now, did you also know that creating your own unit study is probably not as hard as you think? Hi, I'm Stacey, and today I want to show you how to create your own unit study based on any theme or topic that you could imagine. This is the same exact method that I have used to create my own unit studies, and I'm going to give you all the details right now. If you don't already know, unit studies, also sometimes referred to as thematic units, are simply teaching children a specific theme through multiple subject areas. So if your child is super interested in animals on the African safari, you could take multiple subject areas and create several different activities that are all related to animals on the African safari. You could incorporate geography by showing them where Africa is on the world and where the savanna is specifically on the continent of Africa. You could look into science by figuring out the different food chains and ecosystems on the African grasslands. And you could even tie in other books that have a savanna theme to them as well. Now, these are just a few examples off the top of my head, and let me assure you, you are not going to have to come up with these activity ideas all on your own. Also, there is no limit as to how many subject areas you have to cover in any given unit. This is entirely up to you. As I mentioned earlier, the method of creating a unit study that I'm going to share with you today is the same exact method I used when creating the Kids Learning for Life preschool and toddler curriculum. But don't worry, this method can be used for any topic or any grade level that you want to teach. All right, to get started, all you're going to need is a piece of paper next to you that you can use to take notes on which activities you want to do when. I have also, and I'll put this in the link in the description, I've created a worksheet that you can also work from. So this is just a simple unit study planner that I use. So again, you can select any subject you want and then any day of the week, and you can fill in a subject for every single day. You could do subjects all throughout. Again, go crazy with this. This is just a template. You can do whatever you want. You can make unit studies go by the day. You can make it go several weeks. It's all up to you. But this should at least give you a starting place to kind of get some ideas and thoughts. And then down at the bottom, I've even left like other resources. So if it doesn't really fit into your planner up here, you can still make a note of that down at the bottom. The only other thing you're going to need is a Pinterest account. I'll go into a little more depth about that, but it is a free account that you can use, and I'll show you what that is in just a minute. So step one in creating your unit study is to come up with your theme. Themes can be anything. You can base your themes around holidays. You can base them around anything that your child is interested in, like bugs or feelings or dinosaurs or space, or anything. It really doesn't matter. Your imagination can go wild here. You can base it off of a specific book and then go from there. So whatever you want, just make sure you have that theme in mind before moving on any further. Next, you want to look at your piece of paper or that planner I created for you and start figuring out which subjects or topics you want to cover. So if you want to include some reading, go ahead and add that into one of your subjects. If you want to do science, like I said, you can use as many or as few subjects as you want in a unit study. Next, you're going to want to create the schedule for your unit study. So figure out how long the unit study is going to take you. And you may not have this exact right at the beginning until you start to see some of the activity ideas that you're looking at, which we'll get to in a later step. But have an idea. Do you want this one theme to last a week? Do you want this one theme to last a month? Do you just want a themed day where you just have 5 different activities all in one day, all about African savannas? Whatever you want, just make sure you kind of know that going in so that you can plan easier. Also, you want to have an idea you're going to be including some activities for the specific subjects, but I also like to write down a book list so that I can have that handy, and also if I can find any YouTube videos that will also help whatever my theme is about. So I like to have 2 sections where I keep a book list and like a YouTube video list. You could create a field trip list, you could create a food list if you want to get really fancy and theme your food. I'm not that fancy, but if that's something that you're interested in, go for it. Add that in there. So again, the sky's the limit here, but just start to kind of outline what you want to put into your unit study before you start looking for ideas. Now, step 3 is where we're going to get into Pinterest. So if you have never heard of Pinterest before, What this is kind of like a file system and a search engine all together. So when you type into the search bar, let's say, dinosaurs activities, you will then get all of these different pictures and resources, links to other websites. And so you can then pin it, which means you just take it and you're going to tell it to go into a specific, they're called boards, but it's kind of like a folder. So a specific folder on your Pinterest account. Now, I also wanted to note that you can probably do something very similar to this with other apps, such as like Evernote, I believe would do this. Google Keep could also do this for you. So if you have another system where you can just do regular internet searches and then go ahead and track them all somewhere, that's fine as well. But I really like Pinterest just because it has that search engine built in, so that helps make it a little bit easier. All right, step 4 is going to be, you're going to start searching for activity ideas, book ideas, video ideas, anything for your theme. So you can put dinosaur activities and push enter and see what comes up. You could do dinosaur first grade activities. You could do dinosaur middle school activities. You could do dinosaur science activities. And you can kind of just keep searching in that sort of mindset to help narrow down what exactly you're looking for. Typically, I start with whatever my theme is, activities, and then I might put a grade in there depending on what I'm looking for. And then you're going to get this Pinterest search that's going to come up, and you're going to have so much content there. So you're going to just go ahead and scroll. And so the next step is going to be just start pinning things to that board that you've already designated. This is not the time to take a super deep dive into every single activity that you see. But if something catches your interest, just go ahead and click pin, put it in the folder. And then, so this is the part that is the biggest tip I have for you to make this go fast. Because if you sit and click open every single pin and then go to the website, look through it to decide if you want it on your board or not, I feel like it might take you too long. So just take a quick look. If it looks interesting, pin it. If it doesn't, move on. Because we're going to go in a later step, we're going to take a closer look at everything you've pinned, and that's going to be the time that you can start weeding out things you don't want. But you want to at least curate something into the folder that you want to maybe use. Whether you use it or not, we're not on that step yet. And if you're finding all of these tips helpful so far, please don't forget to click that like button and consider subscribing so you get notified of any future videos. Step 6 is an optional tip, but if you don't find everything you're looking for in Pinterest and you still feel like you need more stuff to pin into your board, you can still do a Google search and go ahead and do a Google search, or maybe Teachers Pay Teachers, and try to find more activities and resources for you to add to your board. Pinterest does have a couple different ways that you can pin your own pins. So I'll leave a link to a website that will kind of give a walkthrough of how to do that. But basically, you just go to any website, you click the pin it button, and it'll put it onto a board for you, and you don't have to worry about anything else. All right, now that you have done several different searches regarding your theme and the age and different subjects and books and videos, and kind of curated your own list, you're going to go to that specific board that you created and have already pinned a bunch of activities to. And now is the time to go back to your schedule and start filling in different slots. So before you place any activities into your schedule, you're going to want to make sure that you actually use this time to actually go to the website and take a look at the different materials needed. Make sure that whatever the pin says, that if you're looking for free activities, that the activity is free, or that you're okay with paying a certain cost to like access a worksheet or something, if that's what the pin is. So this is now the time to take a deeper look and really make sure that the activity you have pinned is really going to be a great fit for your family and style of learning. So for example, using the unit study planner, if I had English language arts here and I knew I wanted to do 5 days of activities, and I wanted something English language arts related, every single day, then I would go through my list and find something that matches that English language arts and stick that, just write that activity name here. Then I'll write the next activity if I find another one. And so you just kind of go in and fill in the slots. Like I said, you don't have to do a specific subject. every single day, but you can, mix and match what you want to do. So get creative with that. Now, if when you're filling this in, you realize, oh, I really wanted to have 3 math activities and you only pin 2, feel free to then go back and search, dinosaur math activities a little more specifically and start putting more stuff onto your board. And for step 8, we are now going to finalize your schedule, and then you can even kind of create a materials list. Just, turn your paper over and make a list on the back of all the different materials you're going to have to gather before you can start that unit study. This may require you going to the library to pick up some books. This may require you going to the craft store to pick up a couple random pieces for a craft activity that you selected, but you don't have those materials for. All that's next is to go ahead and implement that activity whenever it fits into your homeschool schedule. Now, if you do have a preschool or a toddler and you don't want to have to worry about creating your own unit study, Kids Learning for Life does have 52 weeks of free preschool and toddler curriculum themes already up on our website ready to go. So you can check this video out to see more about the themes and how that curriculum works. But other than that, happy homeschooling!